Hey everybody, talking a little bit about these corporate mandates. Um, when the path out of the pandemic order was put out by the Biden administration, it didn't mention anything about any requirements for vaccines. It just discussed COVID-19 protocols, which kind of had been in place for a while and were all known. And the only thing it asked corporations to do and asked them to do was become more involved in getting their employees to become vaccinated. Now, it didn't say how they were supposed to do that. It had no guidelines of any sort. And I don't know if there was some kind of blowback from corporations or what, or even the government workers, because they're going to have to comply with this also. At least all the government workers who they figure have to get it. I'm sure there were going to be, I think they said there were going to be about 10% that weren't going to have to do it. I don't know who that 10% are. I'd be interested in finding that out. Maybe if you know who it is, leave comments below, because I don't know who it is. What they ended up doing, the Biden administration, was asking OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health, is it the administration or associate, whatever. It's a quasi-government arm, no elected representatives, kind of like the EPA, just something the government threw at us a while back to create more problems. Has OSHA done some good things? Yes, it has. Has OSHA been a big pain in the ass and cost corporations lots of money, costing people jobs? Yes, they have. But they're not a medical organization. They are a safety organization. They're out there to make sure people are wearing hard hats and safety shoes and safety glasses and fall protection and orange vests. That's their job. Make sure that the workplace is safe physically, and they are not a medical organization, and they should not be the ones who are being allowed to decide that these corporations should require their employees, companies over 100, to get vaccinated. And I don't understand that. What's the difference between 99 and 101 or 100 and 101? What is that difference? I don't know what that is. I don't get it. If there should have been more things. Well, if you're in an office environment, or if but the people who work at railroads, most of them work out in the field. Most of them aren't really within 6 feet of each other. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I know OSHA should not be the one who is being allowed to give us these answers. I think that is wrong. OSHA has, like I said, they've always been a thorn in the side. I don't know, kind of like the EPA, I'm not sure that they're actually looking out for the people as much as they're looking out for their own jobs and trying to make themselves appear to be so important that they need to continue to be funded and continue to exist. It's terrible. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. I spoke with a manager at where I used to work, and he said that Union Pacific is expecting to lose 25% of its workforce over this. I hope that the way they're going to do it, as far as my understanding goes, is the people who don't get the vaccine by the 8th, which is just in a couple of days, will be declared medically unfit for duty. I can't remember exactly what it's called anymore, but they will be removed from service, but they won't be fired. They will have, as my understanding, 4 months to comply, or hope that something changes in those 4 months, that with all these lawsuits that will be thrown at the administration by unions, municipalities, and states, that perhaps they will take a second look at this. And when they start to realize what this is going to do, because if it's going to cost Union Pacific 25% of its workforce, chances are that it's going to cost many, many large corporations around that number as well. And that is going to have a very, very detrimental effect on the economy. It's going to have a detrimental effect on supply lines, supply chains, manufacturing. It will all be affected, and it won't be a good thing. If I have to guess what the Democrats will do based on their history, is that they'll double down. And they won't care what's going to happen as long as they don't have to reverse one of their decisions. And I don't really think the Democrats care about the economy. I know they don't. The Democrats could care less about the economy. And they don't care about any groups of people, regardless of color or religion or sexual preference. It doesn't matter. They don't care about any of you. I believe this is all about numbers, and when a certain number is reached, I believe this will all start to go away. And as I've said many times before, I'm not opposed to the vaccine. I'm only opposed to what's going on with people being forced to do it. This is nothing more than bullying. And the liberal Democrats are always the first ones to cry bully when somebody says anything that's offensive to them. Well, you know what? These people that are going to lose their jobs, that's offensive. When you can't feed your family, that's offensive. And are these people going to be protected under anything? Because this is all due to COVID. Are they going to be protected by all these benefits that people who lost their jobs when they shut the economy down over COVID? And the government shut that down. Believe me, it's something to do with corporations. The government did that. This time, corporations are caving to OSHA, and I don't think they should. Burlington Northern Santa Fe and the Alaska Railroad are two corporations that I know are not going to comply. They're going to fight this, and rightly so. So anyway, it's a bad thing. If I were a young man with 4 kids and 20 years to go, I don't know what I would do. I would like to think that I would stand firm. I know some who are, and I know some who aren't. And I don't blame either side. I sympathize with both sides. I really do. It's a terrible decision to have to make. I hope that the Democrats see how damaging this is going to be to human beings, mostly, and to the economy. They probably won't, because like I said, they really don't care. And this isn't going to just affect people who didn't get vaccinated. It's going to affect the vaccinated too. And I'm sure there's plenty of liberals out there that are anti-vaxxers, and they're not going to do it. They're going to be affected. The people who are left, the other 75%, are going to have to take up that slack. They can start hiring people, but that's not going to help in the short term. It's going to take a while for those people to get integrated, trained, and gain experience, while these other people have to take up the slack. And then what's OSHA going to say when people start getting hurt because they're doing jobs that they didn't used to have to do, or they're doing much, much more than they should have to be doing to try to keep things going? People are going to start getting hurt. It's a bad deal all the way around. What do you think? Where do you stand on this? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motorpoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. And we'll see you all later.